Greetings, good gentles. It is Youth Friday, and I am Lady Kungun Beneonich, and today we're going to take a tour of my garden, which hosts many plants, vegetables, and herbs that would have been available to people living at various times in various places throughout the SCA time period. So we'll do a quick tour and do some planting at the end. So here we have rosemary, something that's easily available, grows like crazy. I like to keep mine in a pot because it gets very big very fast, and you can use that for so many dishes. We have thyme, sweet marjoram, and then I have started my winter garden. Here in southern Kaid, you can garden year round. It's very exciting. So these little tiny guys are beets. Here we have peas. I do need to pull one of each of those plantings. In every hole, I'll put 2 seeds because you never know if one of those seeds is going to sprout or not. I had every seed sprout, so I need to go through and thin the competition and leave only the strongest plant in those spots. So moving on from my herbs, beets, and peas. In this bed, more winter crops, things that like cool weather to grow and grow quickly. This little row right here is radishes, and here we have purple top turnips. I love turnips. Moving down here to this bed, I love this tangled mess. It makes me very happy. So right down here we have tarragon, which is an herb that tastes like licorice, used in a lot of French cooking. These are green onions. Onions were readily available, and these were grown from grocery store cuttings, so I just let them sprout and put them in the ground. Down here I have a red top beet that I have let grow wild. It is a huge bulb. You can't see it down there, but it's huge. The beet itself is inedible, but look at all of those beautiful greens that I can snip off, saute, use in salads, use in egg dishes. So that beet is providing me greens, and it has been since March. So it's been growing a long time. This patch here is strawberries. There's some celery growing in there. Down at the end, I have my asparagus patch, and it is a wild bush. All of this down here is asparagus. It is in its first year, and so by September of next year, I will be harvesting asparagus, which I'm very excited about. Down here I have basil and sage, and this right here is something I'm very excited about, and it's what we'll be planting today. That is garlic. I have had great success planting garlic from grocery store bulbs, and I don't plant it to harvest the bulbs, I plant it to harvest the greens. These little guys here, these are so delicious in stir fries or in salads. The flavor is very mild, not sharp like the actual garlic bulb. Oh, I don't want to leave out my parsley. It's over here all by itself. I'm growing a beautiful plant of, that's Italian flat leaf parsley, and I'm looking into more medieval, more historically accurate herb, but it's really delicious to use in so many dishes. Parsley has a really mild flavor once it's cooked. So let's plant some garlic. Okay, let's get it situated here. All right, now you can plant them in the ground as I have in my garden bed, or you can plant them in pots. So things that we need in our pots. In the bottom of our pot I have gravel, and this is to help drainage. Garlic does not like heavy, wet soil. So in the bottom of your pot, I put some gravel. It's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So the easiest thing to do is to get a palm and cactus soil. That's a really sandy soil that's gonna promote drainage and give the garlic the nutrients it needs. So first we can do that. Fill your pot. That might be a little bit much. I'm just gonna put that in here. Great. And here is my garlic bulb. So a whole head of garlic. And you just break it open. And this right here is what we will plant in the soil. You don't need to worry too much about spacing because I'm harvesting for the greens. And put it down just to where the top is underneath the soil. Pick up another one. Gloves are always a good idea. One more in there. And plant even the tiny ones. What you're harvesting is the greens. And make sure that they're covered, and then give that water. The other thing you can do is if you don't have a bottle of cactus soil, take soil from your yard. So this is a scoop of soil from my yard, and it has no organic matter in it at all. It is mostly clay, and that's a really heavy soil. So I'm going to add sand and compost to that to enrich my soil and feed my garlic. Yeah, we'll use that whole scoop. Good. And then in here, I have sand. Just builder sand is something that you can get. Mix that in. And then this is compost. Maybe your family makes compost. What this is composted steer manure, which is something you can get at the garden store very easily. Mix that into the top few inches. And compost, any sort of manure would have been really valuable to people living in medieval times. And gardening, that would have been the most easily available fertilizer for soils. And then same thing, take your head of garlic, make sure it's unblemished like this one has, like a little hole in it, so I won't plant that one. Okay. Snuggle that down in the soil. Even the little ones I'm going to plant. One more here. Put that down in there. Oh, I had two. I'll put that in there. Okay, good. Make sure it's covered. Thoroughly water this, and then give it about 2 weeks, maybe even less time. You need it in a nice sunny location. In about 2 weeks, you'll start to see sprouts that you can harvest. And always leave some of the greens available.